Om Shri Sai Ram. In the previous class we learnt about definition of complex number and the natural power of I. We have learned that what is I square and what is I cube and all, and regarding that we solved few problems on that. And today let us see conjugate of complex number. Conjugate of complex number. Any complex number can be represented as z is equal to a plus bi. This is a general form of representing a complex number, and its conjugate can be written as a minus bi, and which is denoted by z bar. Z bar denotes conjugate of complex number. Thus we can say that if z is equal to a plus bi, then its conjugate z bar is equal to a minus bi. Here we should remember that to write a conjugate of any complex number, we should change the sign of the imaginary part of z. Here imaginary part is b, imaginary part of z is b, and the sign here is plus. To write its conjugate we have to change, if it is plus we have to change it minus, if it is minus we have to change it plus. So we should not touch the real part of z. Okay, so z is equal to a plus bi, then its conjugate will be a minus bi. You just remember that. So we should change only the sign of the imaginary part. Let us see some few examples on conjugate of complex number. Here z is equal to 2 plus 3i, then conjugate of z can be written as z bar is equal to 2 minus 3i. Here is plus, which is imaginary part of z is 3 and 3 has sign plus, so that plus is changed to minus. That gives a conjugate of complex number z is equal to 2 plus 3i. Similarly, if you see here z is equal to 1 minus I, and here minus is there. Okay, so and that can be changed to plus when you are writing conjugate of complex number. And similarly here also we have z is equal to minus 2 plus 10i, and here the sign of real part won't changes to write, and the sign of imaginary part is changed to minus, and z bar is equal to minus 2 minus 10i. That is the conjugate of this complex number. Suppose if you have another example, say if z is equal to say 2 plus I whole square, and write the conjugate of this complex number. So we can write the conjugate of this complex number. You just expand this using a plus b whole square, that is 2 square plus I square plus 2ab. What is a here? 2, and b is I. So this is equal to 2 square is 4. What is I square? As you know that I is equal to square root of minus 1, then I square is equal to minus 1. So I square is minus 1 plus 2 into 2 is 4, and I, 4 into I is 4i, and this is equal to 4 minus 1. This is a real numbers, so you should simplify that. We can't take this one as this is a imaginary. So 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 4i. This is what z. Now we can able to write its conjugate z bar. Here 3 plus 4i, so we have to change the sign of imaginary part. Here the sign of imaginary part is plus. To write its conjugate, so it will changes to minus. This is how we can write conjugate of a complex number. Next we have some properties of conjugate of a complex number. And here the first property is z is equal to z bar, that is the conjugate of a real number is the number itself. Here I have let us prove that. Here I have taken z is equal to 5 and that can be written as in the form of a plus bi as this, z is equal to 5 plus 0I. This is purely real, right? Then its conjugate can be written as z bar is equal to, here the sign of imaginary part is plus and to write its conjugate we have changed it to minus. So 5 minus 0I is equal to 5. And here z is equal to what? 5 and z bar is equal to 5. Therefore we can say z is equal to z bar. We can have another example. If I take z is equal to 0, this is a particular case of a complex number. Z is equal to 0 is a real number. Here what happens? If you express this in the form of a plus ib, you can write as 0 plus 0I. Understand? So here both a is equal to 0 as well as b is equal to 0. This is a particular case. Okay, if a is equal to 0, b is equal to 0, then it will be a real number. Okay. So then we can write z bar as, so now 0 and this plus it will changes to minus 0I, and what is this? 0 and 0 into I is 0, so everything is 0. Therefore z bar is equal to 0 and z is equal to 0, then we can say that z is equal to z bar. Okay, hence this statement is proves. Next, another one, if z is purely imaginary, then z bar is equal to minus z. Here I have taken complex number z is equal to 3i, which is purely imaginary, and that can be written in the form of a plus bi, can be written as 0 plus 3i, and its conjugate will be z bar is equal to 0 minus 3i, and this will be equal to what? Minus 3i. So what I have z is equal to 3i and I have z bar is equal to minus 3i, and this can be written as 3i can be replaced as z and minus is here, so minus into z is minus z, hence we can conclude z bar is equal to minus z. When z is purely imaginary, then we can write z bar is equal to minus z. And another property we have on conjugate of a complex number is that, which is z bar whole bar is equal to z. If you take a conjugate of a complex number, then it gives a conjugate, and again if you take it as conjugate of that number, it will give the complex number itself. See here I have taken z is equal to a plus bi I have taken, and I have written here z bar is equal to a minus bi. You know that how to write the conjugate of complex number, hence we have written there. Now let us consider this z bar to the whole bar, which is equal to, what is z bar? Z bar is a minus bi and it has whole bar. That means again we have to take its conjugate. What is conjugate of a minus bi? So we have to change the sign of imaginary part. Here is minus and this is changed to plus and gives a plus bi. What is a plus bi? A plus bi is nothing but z. Z is equal to a plus bi. Hence we can say that z bar to the whole bar, which is equal to z, which gives another which is another property of conjugate of a complex number. Next we have geometrical representation of a complex number. See, any complex, we can represent a complex number in the form of z is equal to a plus bi, where a and b are the real numbers, and here z is a real part of a is a real part of z and b is the imaginary part of z, that we know it, right? And here let us represent this complex number in a graph. We have to represent that in xy plane. So here, now here I have to take x, o, x dash as x-axis and this is a y-axis, and here I have taken point P whose coordinates are a comma b, let us say. Then z is equal to a plus bi can be represented as P, that is point. We can represent a complex number in the form of a point P has coordinates a comma b, which is shown in the figure. Here as you know that we can say this axis, can we call it as a real axis, or we can call it as x-axis, and this we call it as y-axis. Okay, this we can call it as y-axis, or we can call it as imaginary axis. And here I told that A is a real part of Z. Real means we should represent that on a real line. Okay, so that is A. This point is A. Okay, this point is A. Can we say a comma 0? Since the y coordinate 0 here. Okay, and another one is B. B is imaginary part. So we should represent that on imaginary axis, or say y axis. So what is this point? Say 0 comma b, and this is a point which is P of a comma b. A comma b are the coordinates. That is how we can represent a complex number in a xy plane. Next we can see the particular cases. Yeah, if b equal to 0, then complex number is purely real, and that can be represented as z is equal to a plus 0i, and which can be denoted in the form of a point, coordinate point as a comma 0, and this point which lies on x-axis. Already I told you that x-axis is nothing but what? It's a real axis. Okay, so I can represent a point a comma 0 on x-axis. This point is nothing but a comma 0. Then now we can call it as x-axis as a real axis, and we can represent that in the graph as well. Z is equal to a plus 0i we have represented. Similarly, we can see that representing of a complex number when it is purely imaginary. We see that, yeah, if a is equal to 0, then z become purely imaginary, and we have represented that z is equal to a 0 plus bi, which can be denoted as 0 comma b. Here this coordinate, this represent x and this represent y coordinate. Okay, here the real part is 0, a equal to 0. Okay, real part of z is 0 and the imaginary part of z is not equal to 0, that is we written as b. So now the complex number is purely imaginary. Now I can represent that this complex number as in the form of a point which is 0 comma b, and 0 comma b can be represented on imaginary axis. That r, the point r gives the point on the imaginary line. And we can have particular case as well. If z is equal to 0 plus 0i, this is a particular case, whereas both imaginary and real parts are 0 here, then where you can represent that? Definitely at the origin. Okay, hence we can call it as y dash is nothing but what? An imaginary axis. Yes, the plane of two axes representing complex number as point is called a complex plane, or we can call it as Argand plane. See, suppose if you represent a complex number in the diagram, and that plane is called Argand plane, and that diagram is called as Argand diagram. Okay, we are representing a complex number in the Argand plane, or we can call it as Argand diagram. Okay, the diagram which we use to represent a complex number in the plane, and that plane is called Argand plane, or you can call it as Argand diagram, or you can call it as complex plane. Yes, now is modulus of a complex number, or we can say absolute value of a complex number. Here I have taken a complex number in the form of a plus bi, that is equal to a plus bi is a complex number, and that point can be represented in Argand plane, and p of a comma b, which is nothing but a point. See, I can represent z is equal to a plus ib in the form of a point, coordinate point, as a comma b. Okay, in that way also we can represent. So let us say p is a point, has coordinates a comma b, and that representing a plus bi. For this we can draw a graph. Yeah. See here, we have represented a complex number in the plane as has coordinates a comma b, and this distance is nothing but a, and this distance is nothing but b. And now you know that we have to find its absolute value, or we can say we have to find the modulus of a complex number, and that gives OP. How you are going to find OP? The distance between these 2 points. This is origin, has coordinates 0, 0. This point has coordinates 0, 0, and that is a point P has coordinates a, 0, and that distance can be find by using distance formula. What is distance formula? As you know that x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. So you can use this formula here, x1 y1 x2 y2, you can take that and use that formula and you will get it, or you can use Pythagoras theorem there. Okay, what is that? OP is equal to OP square, hypotenuse OP square is equal to OM square plus MP square. Okay, this is OM square plus MP square, and OP is equal to what? Square root of OM square plus MP square. What is OM square? OM square is nothing but A square, and we have written. And what is MP? MP is nothing but B, and its square is B square. Then we can say that OP is the modulus, or we can say the absolute value of a complex number A plus BI. Hence, we can represent the modulus of a complex number as magnitude of z, modulus of z is equal to square root of a square plus b square, where a and b are the real numbers, and a is a real part of z and b is the imaginary part of z. Okay, hence it gives modulus of z is equal to a plus bi. Z is equal to a plus bi. If you take its absolute value, it gives square root of a square plus b square. Okay, so we have found out that a modulus of a complex number as square root of a square plus b square if z is equal to a plus bi, where a and b are the real numbers. In the next class, we are going to learn that properties of this conjugate of a complex number. That is what we have to learn in the next class. Till then, Sai Ram.